What's up, everybody? It's Light1films, and basically, just like D Blake, I talk about Samurai 8, one of the greatest mangas out right now, even though people hate on it.
I'm Moikun, and I'm in the same boat. I rock some Samurai 8. I like to also venture off into some other series, but we here to talk about the main topic here, Meta Hachimaru and all that jazz. Let's go.
Let me mute this. Yeah, let me mute the stream before we get double audio takes. You can still hear me, right, D Blake? Okay, okay. So you said the first thing we're gonna talk about. What was the first thing we're gonna talk about? All right, so I'm gonna start it off. So the thing is, I grew up watching anime. Now, I always say this, but it's just like, on then yeah. So I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I was obsessed with Pokemon. I love Pokemon so much, and Pikachu was one of my favorite Pokemons. But uh, out about anime till like literally years later when I was watching Naruto Shippuden, and it got to a point where it stopped airing on TV or whatever happened. And around that time I had a laptop, so I was just like, I think I was watching it at the time at Funimation, if I'm not mistaken. And Funimation had a lot of episodes, but then it got to the point where I was just like, oh man, there's no more episodes. And then I tried to see if there was more episodes. I typed watch Naruto Shippuden whatever on my Google browser, whatever. And next thing you know, I go to this site and there's like 50 episodes ahead. I'm like, wait, what? I click on the next episode. It's in Japanese. I'm like, wait, Japanese with subtitles? What is this? And then I literally looked Naruto Shippuden up, and the wiki said anime. I said anime. What is that? After that, I just started bench watching so many anime. I said, oh, I never knew. I thought this was just a regular cartoon that came on to anime. Right.
I think I was pretty much in the same boat. Like I started off like I remember being pretty much in like first, second grade, and all my friends are watching like Dragon Ball Z, Beyblades, Yu-Gi-Oh, all that jazz, and I'm just like watching all this shit like growing up, and then like slowly got into the Four Kids dub of One Piece, and was sitting here just like watching all of that jazz, and then I think what really got me into it was Afro Samurai. After I watched Afro Samurai. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Digimon was the stuff. I didn't even know it was anime until later on, like as I guess started searching for the content. I was like, whoa, this was anime all my life. This is the good stuff.
I'm, I'm not. I'm not gonna lie. I was like one of those people that never watched Digimon growing up, and like literally, the only reason I watched Digimon is because one year it was on Netflix for like, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago. I watched season 1 and 2, and I said, "What did I miss? Like this was so amazing." Like Digimon was like so dark. Like the story was so dark but so good. Like it was way more mature than the Pokemon story growing up and stuff when I watched Pokemon. But because I grew up with Pokemon and not Digimon, I do gotta say, Pokemon all the way. Even though the story in Digimon is, it's better in my opinion. But uh, yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I remember, um, okay, so I actually watched Naruto when it first ever aired on Toonami, like episode one, because I saw a trailer for it. I said, okay, this looks interesting. But yeah, like you said, watching anime in sub, like I would literally have to go back so many times because I'm like, oh, I missed something. I didn't read this, and I was like, oh man, obviously, yeah, but
Sub is
over the year,
life.
yeah, over the years, you just
I said sub is life. Sub is life.
over the over the years you get used to it. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm one of those people that I appreciate the sub, but if I never watch in certain anime and I find out it has a dub, I will always watch the dub over the sub. Not just because it's just like I could do else, like for example, like play video game and still listen to what's happening. While I don't speak Japanese, so if I'm playing a game or doing something else, I'm gonna miss something and I gotta go back. Yeah, basically. Uh, I was shocked when I first watched Dragon Ball Super because I was excited. I'm like, oh, Dragon Ball's coming back. Because I never watched Dragon Ball ever. I go watch the first episode. I hear Goku's voice, and I'm just like, I'm mad out. I didn't shut it down, but I was like, he sounds so weird. Like, but you get used to it after watching a bunch of episodes. But because I didn't grow up with a Japanese voice actor for Goku, I grew up obviously with not even Sean Shemo. Like, okay, some of him, But I remember watching the original Dragon Ball voice dub and stuff. It was like different casts, but I like the new the now years. But I think because I watched like had like videos like box sets. Well, that I didn't own. I rented it or whatever it was. And I will watch them, and they will have blood and stuff. Whereas Dragon Ball Super, it's like when you get punched in the face a lot of times, you don't bleed. It's just you get a little scratch on your face. But it's like it's not even that violent. Just to have a little bit of blood. It's just like realistic. It's like yeah, but yeah, I love like you said. Like I never grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. Like I don't know what to tell you. At least experience. At least watch it. And it's a great series. Like growing up, I loved it. Seeing Goku turn Super Saiyan for the first time, I was like, "What is this?" Like, it was awesome. Yeah, yeah, it was.
It was one series that like greatly influenced like I know a lot of the like I guess like One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, like everything else that has followed. Dragon Ball Z is the grandfather to all of them for real, for real. And I love how a lot of them show respect.
Oh, I do know that. Now, the crazy thing is, what opened my eyes to that was actually me reading a manga called Bakuman, which is basically about these two I think they were high school or college students, first year college students that were working on manga together, and they were trying to get the number one manga. I think it was Jump, Shonen Jump or whatever. And then after that, I was like, holy crap! But then I looked at articles and stuff and how some like literally got I think or somebody they got only 4 hours of sleep a week. I was like, damn, like they killing themselves just to bring us entertainment. Yeah. The thing with Togashi though is like he actually has back problems and had back problems since Yu Yu Hakusho when he was writing that. I heard so that's crazy, but it's understandable though. Actually, they could take a break, like the creator of Berserk, like goes on like months hiatus and just comes back. Yeah.
I have a
You don't
quick
know how.
question real quick. I have a quick question real quick. Is Vinland Saga like is the same studio did they do Berserk? Because I feel like the art style is similar.
No,
Just
the
wondering.
studio that does Villain Saga, it's the studio that did Attack on Titan in season 1 and 2,
All right, I was just wondering because
and 3.
have you guys watched Vinland Saga?
Yeah,
Dude, the anime
yeah,
is pretty nice. I like it a lot.
yeah,
It is beautiful. Not as beautiful as how Demon Slayer looked, but it's still pretty crisp. It's clean. Choreography as I like. I like it. I most definitely should pick up the manga for it, but the anime is nice. I really enjoy.
I read the manga for Villain a couple of years ago or whatever as well, and I love the anime as well. It's just and it's an overall great series, no matter the adaptation.
Nah, just post some links in the Discord, man. We need to fill this up so we can build a
The, wait, what was your question again? Oh, Kingdom. Um, no, this is the thing. I watched Kingdom season 1 and 2. I never read the manga, and I'm kind of mad because somebody told me like the seasons. Obviously, it's all CGI. It looks horrible, but so
Yeah.
I took the philosopher's stone from Fullmetal Alchemist to survive that, and I was like, I hate CGI by the way, unless because if CGI is the whole anime, I hate it. But if it's not, is like some scenes, then that's fine.
Yeah,
But
don't go watch Kingdom anime. It doesn't exist. The Kingdom
yeah, so
anime doesn't
basically
exist.
a bunch of arcs. I said, what? What? I literally watched 2 seasons of full episodes
Hmm.
and they skipped arcs. I was like, damn. Now I do gotta check out the manga because I heard it's good.
Bro,
And I heard
go on.
Mortal got a new anime or whatever, which I never read the manga, but I heard it's good, so I might check that out today.
Okay, okay, okay. So let's get into this samurai hate. So, who wants to start it off? Who wants to start it off?
Okay, so I just want to say that a lot of people, some people have made videos and things like that, like Samurai 8, the sales are not good. I do not know because I don't like when I watch a video, I don't trust exactly what a person says. I do
Yep.
have to do my own research.
Look at the numbers yourself.
Yeah, so I don't know. Samurai 8 sales wise might not be doing good. I literally don't know, but
Mhm.
I think it could always pick up. And like I think it was you, Deep Lake, that retweeted or said something on Twitter. Like
Mhm.
Kishimoto could have easily just made a generic shonen, another generic shonen, because he already made well, Naruto's not really a generic shonen, it's really good. But make a shonen where it's like easy to do, like easy story in the beginning, chapter one, explain in easy terms. But no, the thing that put a lot of people away from Samurai 8 chapter one was like there was so much like science involved explanation and stuff. And obviously there's some tell you the truth, some Shonen Jump fans that they just want everything explained to them
Yeah.
like right away. They don't want to think that, like some people literally only read Shonen Jump stuff for the fights and that's it. They don't care how the
Oh
fight
my
gets there
goodness. That's
or
facts.
whatever. They just like, oh man, this was an awesome fight. Like for example, if if Demon Slayer, obviously I love Demon Slayer.
Mhm.
It's an awesome anime,
Mhm.
awesome manga. But some people might like Demon Slayer only for the fights. But Samurai 8 is different. Like it's just so much stuff in Samurai 8 that the fights are awesome as well. But there's just other things that highlight the series even more. It's not just about the fights, and that's why I appreciate Kishimoto Sensei for actually, different, doing a sci-fi series in Shonen Jump, like the magazine that published Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, Naruto, Bleach, One Piece. Like when you think about Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, and Dragon Ball Z, like that's not sci-fi. That's not like something crazy because
Yeah.
Naruto wants to become a Hokage. One Piece, Luffy wants to become the Pirate King, and Bleach. I'm not gonna lie to you, I always kind of joke around with Bleach, even though I like it. Bleach, I don't know what
Ichigo
Ichigo's
didn't want to
going.
do shit. He just wanted to be. He just wanted to live his life, bro.
Yeah,
Really
literally,
though,
like
man. He just wanted to chill out, man.
Ichigo was just trying to chill, man, the whole time.
one day I was like, man, I'm just a high school student. Leave me be.
Bro, I
Like,
think that's one of the things that I love the most about Bleach is that he had no aspirations to do any of that shit. It just kind of got through
yeah.
onto him.
But doesn't that make the best MC when you're not trying to be the hero? Like it it's one thing when you're wanting to be the hero. I feel like that's kind of lame. But when the guy that's like, you know what, I really don't want to do this, but I guess I got to do this
Yeah.
now. I feel like that's always fun.
And so like one of the things that and we're gonna come back to Samurai in a sec, but the one of the things that I really love about One Piece is that from the very beginning, Luffy didn't really care about people. Like he only cared about his crewmates and the people or his friends that he made. And I don't know if you guys are in Wano or not, but like his watching his development, like he's literally about to lead a revolution. Like
Yeah,
growing from chapter one Luffy to now Luffy is like two different people, but he's still the same character. And I really like how that was handled. And that was really
yeah,
one of the things I really liked about Ichigo too. But y'all, go on.
yeah. Like you were saying with One Piece. I don't know if Moist and Wano, but I've been keeping up with the manga for a long time now,
Yeah.
and I just gotta say, I love every chapter Oda's giving us in this arc is like so good, like especially like the later chapters and stuff.
Mhm.
And it's like, yes, there's a lot of progression for Luffy, and I do appreciate that and all that. And I don't know, I just always gotta give props to Oda because he just thinks of so many creative things where I'm just like, how are you
Dude,
gonna outdo
yes.
yourself?
Dude,
And
and
then Oda
he
does something
does.
crazy. I'm like, wow.
He does it every time.
He's a madman for sure, man. He's been switching it
Yeah,
up every single chapter. Every single chapter, you can't figure it out. But
Like, oh, dude, Wano is gonna be a legendary arc. But and like,
definitely.
and that's another thing. I've been seeing a lot of One Piece hate because they're not getting to the fights. But I don't think that's what makes One Piece so good. Like the lore, the
Mhm.
storytelling, being on the island, learning like their struggles and whatnot, and meeting the characters, and then we get the fights. Like, you have
yeah,
to
I
think
like
about
this. I like that formula a little bit more because, like, for real, after the time skip, I feel like it had been action packed, like
yeah,
right off the jump. Like every arc had like hella fights, every single chapter, back to back to back to back to back, right up until like Big Mom, where it's kind of slowed down, where you had to kind of get like that was Sanji's story.
yeah,
So it was yeah, it was less characters. They split everyone up. So they forced like interactions between like new characters. You had to learn a little bit more about Big Mom's pirates, a little bit what Sanji was going through, his family and everything like that. And now that they're back at Wano, you're that's a whole new world. Like nothing in Wano is the same as the rest of what
okay,
is in the Grand Line or
or Whole
in
Cake, or like just
yeah,
any of
like
the
any
rest of
of
the
that.
arcs. Like, it's just completely
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, because like they actually have like the Onis. Like I watched a little bit of Tekken and like Joy Boy and all them, and like they have like the actual, I guess Japanese like spiritual creatures and stuff that live on the island, and then
Oh
just like
yes.
how the island itself is was created. Like there's a lot of like lore behind that. Like some people believe that Ors created it, some believe it was created by other means, just like because like the temperatures and whatnot are on the island. It's just like wild. Like the entire landscape of One Piece is beautiful just because like each island is different, and that is something that I hope is that Samurai 8 can like emulate with all the different planets. Like we've already been on two different planets, and one like they're not neither of the same. And then with
Yes.
both planets, we've learned something new. Like the holder on the second one pretty much just like made a stealth field around it. Now that planet is invisible to anyone else trying to roll up.
Okay,
Which
okay, let's talk about this samurai. All right, let's talk about this world. Let's talk about this world building, bro. Keep going, my
hold on,
guy.
hold on, hold on. I had something else to say about Samurai
Keep
8 when we
going,
were talking
boy.
about the hype of
All
it.
right.
For me, what I how I see Samurai 8 is like, yeah, it's gonna be a great feat with how it's gonna be like a how it deals with sci-fi and everything like that. For me, I've know like when I followed Kishimoto and when I learned that he was making Samurai 8, I remember kind of seeing that he was really into Star Wars and other sci-fi like I guess media, and like what I see that I see a lot of places that it does resemble Star Wars, kind of like how Otto betrayed his master, da 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 da. He's on the
Mm-hmm.
dark side now. How the different schools resemble kind of like the Jedi and the Sith, and how they use the gravitational pull to like guide their destiny, just as how the Force in Star Wars led them to where they need to be. But as how lore is going to be developed inside of Star in Samurai 8, I
Mm-hmm.
see it could be something as vast as like Dune, which is considered a star like a sci-fi classic. And like that is something that I would really enjoy because like what Light Films was saying is like, yeah, there's a lot of backstory to everything, and how like the power system works, how the samurais work, the princes, and like even though we're only like what 23 chapters in, we've been given a lot of information, but that information has also like it's something to think about and kind of it's something to wait for, you know. Like I want to see a lot more come from this, and just like this recent chapter, even though unofficial, but it's still pretty cool, you know.
Oh, dude, Light, did you read the? Yeah, yeah, you did a video actually. You did a video actually, of the
Yeah,
recent chapter.
so yeah, so I was saying with the recent chapter, like, I am gonna wait for the official translation as well. Obviously, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna reread the chapter of the official translations and see if I miss anything or anything like that. But back to the world building and stuff, I think that's really important. And one of the criticisms that a lot of the fans of Samurai 8 are having, and myself included, is like, to tell you the truth, the tournament arc way too fast. Now, some people may say,
Yes.
okay, we don't want to see fodder and stuff. All, which is true. I don't want to be seeing no fodder
Mm-hmm.
samurais and stuff. But at the end of the day, you should have at least, because we got the unnamed Crane samurai, right? He was
Yeah.
really interesting. We had the Mickey Mouse samurai, which was hilarious. But other than that, like everybody else was like no names. Well, we
Yeah,
didn't get
pretty
the names of the
much.
other ones, but have like
I think it was
maybe
a trick. I think it was a trick
You think it
for
was a trick?
first of all, yeah. I think it was a trick for him to lure more samurai in to kind of like build like some sort of army, or
So you
just to
think?
play a game or something.
Okay, so you
Just
think it's
because
more? You
it
think it's more to the tournament than what's actually being what than what's being shown on the surface?
Yeah, because he had like a like crates of keys, and if there's a way to like recreate samurai, not to say that there is, but if there is a way, like if because he I mean he made
Well,
the whole
well,
planet disappear. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Like
well,
if
to
he
speak
can
on
do
that,
that,
hmm
who's gonna find him?
yeah, well, to add on that more, you can keep going, but isn't that basically what happened to Daruma?
What do you mean? Oh, where basically he like embodied a new,
Like you
I
took a new
guess.
host, basically.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I'm not really sure how Dharma got made, but yeah, that's pretty much kind of what happened. He doesn't have his original body anymore, and he is
yeah.
inside the cat. So something like that could happen, and
You know what
they
the
could be finding their way out.
Yeah. Okay,
You
that's
know what the
interesting.
planet, like I was like, I said in one of my reviews, so I was like, what if the planet is literally one of these guys' holders? Like that would be insane. Like a
Oh my
giant
God.
entire planet is your holder. Because the thing is, like you said, he made the planet invisible. You can't regenerate with obviously your regeneration and stuff. I'm like, what? Like that's so interesting to me.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude, that was insane. Like I and how we were talking about the world building earlier, and
Mhm.
um like and just for a small example, like the key holders, like we've gotten like a vast amount of them for like a short amount of time, and I didn't even think like it didn't even dawn on me that you can turn the moon into a holder. Like, did he just turn it into like a space base, or like, is the moon like an actual living thing at that point? Like, it's
What
just,
do you mean?
Well, holder, yeah, because the holder was a moon when because he crashed into the planet and then kind of like initiated the battle royale. in a sense, and that's how the field was around it. So I'm pretty sure, like, if we go back to, like, I think if you go back to chapter 1 or 2, it talks
Mhm.
about how holders are just like cybernetic, I guess, creatures or beings or whatever that people kind of create, and because Hayataro was already a holder prior to him turning it into his key holder. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Exactly.
So I guess all he had to do was just find like a moon or create like a moon holder and just be like, well, now this is mine and I'm able to travel in it, kind of deal.
That's pretty like I and because they do have like all of them, even though they're like creatures, even Hayataro, like they can you can turn them into like jets and fly on them essentially. So yeah, it's pretty positive. Like, so do you think he just made changes to the moon, like technological wise, and then as a samurai, he just made it into a key holder? Because that was my interpretation of it, like
Well,
how
in
that
in
happened.
chapter one, he did make him into his key holder because like Darama's like just believe and you can turn it into your holder kind of deal. So since they're able to like manipulate like the gravitational force and like the H
Mhm.
particles and whatnot, if you're a strong enough holder, like if strong enough samurai, then maybe you're able to manipulate like the entire structure of a moon or something like that and granted that ability as well. Because Hayataro did not originally have the ability to be a key holder until Hachimaru gave him that ability. You know, so he granted that
Yeah.
upon him because he was destroyed, kind of deal, and rebuilt him into something more. So if I guess if you like again, he's supposed to be another key, like that's what the rumor is. So if he is that strong and has that much power, then he should. I guess you could assume that he would be able to do such a thing. We won't know
Mhm.
until we see it, but he does have a planet-sized holder, kind of flying around.
And, dude, and I don't even know how Kishimoto even thought of that. Like, you got anything you want to say? Add to that?
With the holders and stuff. Yeah, I agree with you guys, and it's really interesting because I don't really want to talk too much about the newest chapter and things like
Mhm.
that, but
Yeah, we can stick to the old chapters because there's a lot of information.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's an old chapter. That's when the tournament released. This is nothing new.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, with the holder stuff, it's just really interesting. And one of the things with Samurai 8, but kind of don't like as well, is just like Dharma's with Hashimaru on his journey, right? But
Yeah.
Dharma is like a clutch, not crutch. Is like a crutch to Hashimaru,
Mhm.
something he could like rely on when he's actual in danger and stuff. Because we saw with what happened with Atta. But I just think it should get to a point where Hashimaru obviously gets strong enough where he doesn't gotta rely on his master as much or at
Mhm.
all.
Well,
Hashimaru is he's not it's just like he just got well, he is weak right now, but he got to get stronger. But he is a very smart person and number one in a video game and things like that. But his intellect is very high, and he thinks when he fights, which is a great thing, obviously, to have
yeah, I like
strategy
that.
when you fight. And
Mhm.
That's why I say like I look at Samurai 8 kind of like Star Wars, just because like I look at Hachimaru more like the Luke figure in the series, where like he was kind of gifted as like learning like the Force and the Jet and everything like that, and Dharma kind of falls in like the Obi-Wan Yoda kind of format, where like I feel like eventually he will take the place where like something will happen to him where he no longer can fight, or just he just no longer does fight, because I mean he is wounded and kind of blinded and is an old master, and then this will make it where Hachimaru really, really has to get into gear and will truly shine. You know what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion on that.
So I think with the game and whatnot, and I think Kishimoto kind of like allowed himself not kind of gave his himself a way out essentially. If anything gets a little dicey, is giving Hachimaru this game and having us know that he was number one in the world. So I don't think because the rumor Daruma has been used as a crutch, but I don't think like because Hachimaru's been doing everything by himself essentially. If that makes
He didn't
sense.
defeat Atta though.
Oh yeah, nobody defeat Naruto, bro.
Yeah,
Nobody
like
defeat
that's
Naruto, bro.
that's another thing. Like Atta's, it was a clone, right?
Mhm.
And the thing is, I just want to know how much, what percentage of Atta's strength was part of the clone, like because I'm always like a numbers guy when it comes to
Mhm.
strength of characters and things like that. That's why I even like power levels in Dragon Ball Z, even though they got
A little
redundant
wonky.
and they stopped
Yeah.
using it stuff. But like stuff like where it's just like, it could be like 10%, which I don't think it is because that clone was way too powerful. But like maybe 40, 50, sixty
Oh, dude,
percent
he
Because
he did he washed Mugen.
yeah, because Daruma basically, Daruma is not 100% in that body. No, he's not 100% at all. He got to be like maybe 70 or 65% of his actual strength. Like,
Mhm.
because he does,
I
and
oh
I think
Daruma much after Furuta basically destroyed Otto's body. If that would have never happened, they would have died. I feel.
oh he was washing the whole planet, bro. Like no,
Yeah, dude.
he
He was gonna do exactly what he was gonna do if Furuta didn't stand and be like, "I'm gonna absorb your sword. I'm just gonna absorb this right now, and you're gonna get
yeah,
taken out with me." Like if that would have never happened, Daruma would have been still asleep, trying to regenerate.
I mean he did, but okay, so and this is like where I really like Ata as a character
yeah,
is because he he had so much respect for Daruma even after he went through all that shit. Even though we don't really know everything that happened, but even though like he
yeah,
still respects him, and he even had the upper hand on him in that one chapter where he used like the hidden blade or whatever, and
yeah.
Daruma couldn't move, but he didn't do anything. So I thought that was interesting. Like, why wouldn't he kill his master right there?
I,
You
th- I
know?
think, I think
I have a
that,
question about this moment though, real quick. What happened to the
yeah,
vampiric saber? That is important
Oh
because
yeah.
he dropped it. Ada grabbed it. Ada used it against Hachimaru, and then Daruma destroyed Ada, and it's no longer seen. What happened to it?
wait, you're right.
That's
It was,
facts.
it
I've
was,
been wondering about that.
yeah, that's true. I don't know. Oh wow. And okay, the guy's name was Mujin, right?
Mhm.
Talking about early. Oh man, like what? How are you a samurai and talking about the God of War betrayed you? Like you're supposed to take your death with honor. Like you're not supposed to be like saying stuff like that. You just
Oh, dude.
he
I
took
had
a
such
massive L though. He took like
I had such faith in Mugen when he pulled up.
yeah,
Like at the beginning, I was like, "Oh, this guy is a badass." Like Daruma was hyping him up. Hagamichi was hyping him up. Like
yeah.
he had a Yokozuna grade holder, and then he turned
And
into the Garuda, bro. Like I was like, "Oh,
you saw
Clapped
you
off
saw
screen. Clapped off screen.
got off screen,
you saw Mujin samurai armor. That thing look amazing. I
bro.
said,
It did."
he about to do some work. He about to fight Atta and stuff. Dude got destroyed. Like
And
I'm
like,
like, damn. And that Daruma said Atta got stronger when he left. Like when
hmm
he joined Kala and stuff. I'm like, "M- how much stronger did this guy get? Like this is insane. He literally it's a planet. He could destroy planets. Like with I don't know if he needs the locker ball to destroy a planet, if he needs the strength for that, or how he ever he uses it, but he could destroy planets. Like and then introducing a character that powerful so early on in the series, I was just like, wow, that's crazy to me.
I didn't think he would do it. I was like, "How are you in?" Like I was lit like when we got that first like not the first panel, but when Alta like sent his clone out for the first time, I was
Yeah.
like, "What? Like you're not gonna go yourself?" And he
Right.
didn't either. Uh,
Somebody got to explain to me as a samurai. So okay, so his because somebody did tell me he has multiple samurai souls. Is that true?
It looked like he had five.
Okay, so
Uh,
okay, yeah, because I remember in that chapter he had like I don't know what chapter it was, but yeah, okay, so he might have five samurai souls, and then in one of the chapters, um, Ryu has two samurai souls, and then Daruma makes the statement like, "Oh, you must be from," and
so
then
and so.
there might be a school, or maybe if you're like from a certain group of
Mhm.
people and you become a samurai, you could get more than one samurai soul. But it's just interesting. Oh, and we got to talk about the Nanashi chapter. We have to that
Oh, bro.
chapter.
Well,
Um,
you may be able to lose your soul if you're a samurai because the vampiric soul originally came from Hachimaru and the Ronin was carrying it around. And at one point, Daruma had to as well. So, I mean, I'm guessing if you're able to kill a samurai and or take their soul and their like key, then you should be able to use their ability, you know? Because, I mean,
Yeah.
like the samurai, you know, doesn't die if they don't have the soul. You just take their weapon away from them.
so I just want to hit one thing real quick since we're on this topic. So, and it's just like a one little one-off liner that I'm gonna take from the recent scans or whatever. But they
Yeah.
talk about in a corrupted samurai soul, right? Do you think that's what the vampire sword is?
When you guys talk about the vampire sword, what was it again?
It was they called it Bloodsucker in like the first chapter. It was the one locked inside of Hachimaru's body.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
what it
okay.
was originally with him. Yeah, and that's what the remember when Furuta went to visit the Ronin and he was like trying to get the locker ball from him. He had like a necklace that was the I guess
Key.
the hilt to the samurai sword. Yeah, the key to it. And then that's what the whole reason why the Ronin went back to his place and was just like, "Yo, give me this blah 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 blah." And then kind of started off the series, but yeah, that's
And
the Bloodsucker
Oh,
one.
okay, okay. Somebody posted the panels, the bloodsucker.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
yeah,
So we get that.
the Bloodsucker.
So what does it do exactly? The sword.
Dude, we
It
don't
could
even know.
just, yeah, we don't really have any idea just because like it it was used sparingly and then disappeared off screen. Like no one knows what happened to it. Like I tried to
Okay.
follow it in the panel and it stops right when Ada's clone gets
It's defeated.
destroyed. So yeah, so either Daruma picks it up off screen or it's just completely destroyed in that attack.
Oh, dude, that'd be wild. That'd be
It'd be really
wild.
cool if Kishimoto like for example, we got this sword, the bloodsucker, and there's like maybe it's like a forbidden samurai soul, like or like you said, a corrupted samurai soul. And if it is, that would be awesome because there might be more corrupted samurai souls from former samurais that I always say go to the dark side Star Wars reference and things like that. But that go rogue and stuff and just their hearts go from pure to dark, things like that. So
Hmm.
really interesting.
That's interesting because I believe that's like Otto's whole like stance, like God betrayed us or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that would make sense if like the corrupted souls are like, the evil samurai, I guess.
Yeah.
Because
And
I think I did it. Hold on. I think I did a video, um, where I was talking about how maybe like the bloodsucker, like they had to use specific samurai souls or whatever to create the brothers. And
yeah,
that's my theory, anyways. And so Dojikiri Takatsuna, or the Vampire Sword, was the one they used to create Hachimaru, because it makes it made no sense to me. Like, how do you just create something like a human being? Essentially, is how they made it sound like from nothing.
yeah,
Like, give them this necessities to live, or maybe Dr. Furuta gave it to him to live. Maybe I don't know. Like the samurai soul has some quality to it because there's a lot of stuff you can do with it.
yeah.
Yeah, because Hagamichi was making the life support to help Furuta live for a little bit after the battle. So like you can things. It's just we just have like the bare necessities of what we need. Like we know that the samurai sword can be used to create other tools, but like the full power of it, we don't have an idea on what it truly can do, which is pretty cool at the same time. So
Okay. All right, so let's talk about this Nanashi chapter. And you want to
Wait,
start it
wait,
off
before
with?
that, before that.
Okay, before.
Um, so the samurai soul, it's like such, it's so unique. Um, and something in Samurai 8 is just like real use, real literally used the samurai soul
I'll be
in
right
so
back,
many
guys.
different ways.
Hold
I was
on.
just like, so many different ways. I was just like, that's so cool. Like he made it into a drill, into like an axe. I'm like, what? Why'd you could literally shape your samurai soul into all of that because we saw in the earlier chapters when Hashimaru was having difficulty actually even keeping his samurai soul sword like straight. It was like wiggly or whatever it was. And I'm like, oh wow, it's gonna take intense concentration and willpower and stuff to actually master the samurai soul sword and stuff. And also, what's up, Vinny in the chat, live chat? So in the world that Kishimoto is building, the world that Okubo is actually bringing to life through his art and stuff. Which in the beginning of the series, the art was a little shaky and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie to you, in chapter one, there it was kind of hard to follow some stuff because of the art, and I'm just like I had to go back and reread and look over and stuff. But the art has definitely improved. And later on, like Okubo's art style is so good. You can like the facial expressions, it's so good that it just brings more feelings to the character and it brings the characters to life more. And I really enjoy that with Okubo's artwork, especially in the Nanashi chapter, which we'll wait for Deep Lake to come back so
Oh,
we
I'm
can
back.
talk
I'm
about
back. You
that.
got it.
yeah, I was gonna say like the chapter one was really difficult to read. Like personally, I think I've read the chapter one like 20 times just
Yeah,
to
me
make
too.
sure like just because like it has a lot of information inside the first chapter. It's 70 pages. The art is kind of cluttered. There's just like a whole bunch just going on in it. Like I
Mhm.
understand that they're trying to get a lot of information out and it shows, but like I personally went through it just because like I wanted to break down because like it does give you a foundation on how the samurais work, and like you can kind of see how things kind of flow, and like when one dies. Like I noticed that like there's some form of like I believe there's some form of reincarnation when it comes with locker balls, because after the Ronin was killed, he did revert back into a locker ball. So therefore, if I'm guessing if you found that key and someone was worthy, they could use that locker ball to turn into another samurai in some way. Not to say that they would be them, that it would just be reusable. Because I mean, like Ada did destroy the keys, which then destroy the locker balls of the samurai when they were in space. So I mean,
He
they
did
kind of
make
do
an
revert.
he did make an emphasis to show us that. Like I always thought that was interesting. Like why did Alta destroy those locker balls? And I guess that's the only way to kill them all the way.
Yeah, because I mean, like the locker ball could come, like they could come back, like that ability. So, like if that individual, like if that locker ball had a strong soul, or just like was just a strong individual, because I mean, like he's been doing experiments on them that we don't know about. They created the brothers, so he may have a knowledge about what the locker balls truly do, with him studying with Kala and whatnot, and us not be knowledgeable how the world works. Like he is a master in his craft, so they obviously, like if this were D&D, like in your character knows more about the world than you do, being a player character. So us being the reader, we are only able to know as far as what we see. So like
Yeah.
that's also why I see it as like he destroyed it for some reason. And after seeing that they did create, the brothers and Hachimaru
Mhm.
from previous locker balls, then there could be some merit to that. As well as Furuta was looking for a locker ball because he wanted to heal Hachimaru. So he wanted to find a way so that he would be able to move around. I don't know why he would want to do that. I don't know what he was trying to do with that, but they do have some hidden power to them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think about the Did we talk about the Nanashi chapter?
We haven't
No,
yet.
we were waiting for you.
Oh, okay, no, no. Well, I know Light wanted to start us off on that. You can hit it. Oh,
All right.
before that,
So
hold on. Before that,
okay.
how dope are like the little parallel chapters that we get when, like, for instance, Hachimaru cut the holder for the guard holder in that one chapter, and then Ata cut the asteroid in half. And so, like, how are y'all liking that so far? I really think the contrasting is pretty interesting.
I enjoy
I
the balance. Like the symmetry is beautiful. I
Mhm.
think we need more of it. I really enjoyed it when I think another one was when he put the what are you talking about when he put the toothpick in like the rice ball and then also when Otto smacked into the moon. That
Yeah.
was one
Oh,
thing that I really
that was dope. That was dope.
yeah. So yeah, I really enjoy, and it just goes to show like the parallels between Ata and Hashimaru, and I think it's even more impactful because it's just like literally these are two disciples of Dharma, and one went this way, and now we got Hashimaru in the light and Ata in the darkness. I was like, it's just like it's just great. I was fun. Kishimoto is actually my favorite mangaka of all time, so I'm super biased. But
No, you
like,
good.
you know, you gotta appreciate stuff like that. Like that's so awesome. Like when I read stuff like that, and obviously say like Samurai 8 doesn't have any influence from Naruto because there's some things here and there that
Oh yeah.
it's
Mhm.
similar, but it's his own thing at the end of the day. And you know, brand new series. I don't like comparing like a brand new series to like
An
a
old
previous
series.
manga's work. Yeah, because I see it as a brand new thing. Like you know, it's like a new journey, a new chapter in that manga's life. So that's why, unless you're a Hiro Mashima and you, let's not talk about that. So yeah,
Bro, that is crazy,
yeah,
bro. Just just a smidget on Hiro Mashima. All right, it is crazy. He has three manga going on at like the same time or something like that right
I don't
now.
know how he has the time
It's
for that.
like, bro, what are you doing?
This man got this man stole the shadow clone jutsu from Naruto and doing this.
Oh, bro, that's facts. That's facts. I'm like, is there three of you? Because I just heard stories where it's like it takes y'all only get like 2 hours of sleep, and these people are only writing one story. So,
Got to be somebody else drawing one of the other mangas or something. It can't be. If it's him, I don't know how he's doing it.
I mean a lot of the characters look similar, so I mean it's probably pretty easy. You just kind of copy paste with the design. You're talking about the fairy tale guy, right? The guy?
Yeah,
Or wrong? Am I wrong?
it's a
yeah,
fairy tale guy.
hold on, yeah, Mashima.
Yeah. Personally, I feel like a lot of his characters resemble each other. So I mean, I figure once it comes with like sampling and like music production, it's probably similar with art. Once you get like a specific style down, then it's probably pretty easy to swap characters around. Because I
The
mean, he does
the
good
thing
work.
is,
The
he
art's not
reuses
bad.
like character designs from his
He
other
does what?
series. His character designs from his other works and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's probably why it's easier to make three manga because like all the characters are similar in a way. So I mean, like when you draw one, it's probably just like, oh, I'm drawing this character. They probably have a bow on this side. Their hair's blonde. They don't wear this shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
so. But I mean, it's not bad. It just means he's able to get more work out, and people are able to recognize his artwork, and he's able to, I guess, mix and match the universes. Because I mean, isn't he making he's making the one series with the mash of all three of his like characters or something like that? Is that the
yeah,
heroes one? Yeah, I've been meaning to look
yeah.
into
That's
that,
the
but I
hero
mean, like,
one.
yeah, that's pretty cool. I feel like that's a good idea. Like, have a collaboration of your own characters, especially if people really liked your old series. Like, that allows you to create a whole new universe, and you could potentially make a whole new character from that universe and do something else. So, like, why not? But
Thing is,
speaking of mirroring, I do like how
yeah.
I'm gonna bring it back to Samurai 8. Sorry, because I liked how Kishimoto mirrored Hachimaru and Ant's brother, and how they wanted to fight and be noble and like become great warriors and samurais and whatnot. I thought that was really nice. Like that whole
Bro,
chapter really touched
that
me,
shit touched
and
my
I
fucking
need more of
soul.
that.
All right.
Yeah, he needs to do more of that. I wish we would have gotten more of that with like Hinata and Sakura and Naruto, but I
Mhm.
feel like how the dynamic is set up with this series, it'll allow for that a little bit more.
Oh, bro,
And
Sakura's so goddamn bland, bro. Like, oh my goodness, man.
I agree.
Like, I,
Oh man.
I recently was like, I think Hinata would have been a better main character in that situation, because even at the end, the final villain had the damn Byakugan. It's like you could have still had the love triangle. You could have still had, Sakura's moment with Sasori. You could have still had all that. But it was just like Sakura was just so pointless. There was no growth on her part, I felt, and it was just trash. She was just so badly handled.
When Sasuke puts you in a Genjutsu, she dories you, and then she's still like, I still care for Sasuke. I was like,
I love
I'm gonna head
him.
out.
She
Yeah.
is like, this man said he gonna destroy the Leaf Village. He just killed the Hokage. He
what
just
triggered
killed
me
the
was
president.
when she told him he loved her. When she told Naruto she loved him,
That
I was
shit was
like,
fucked up.
I was like Sakura, you don't know. This cuts me deep. This shit,
Wanted to
this
punch
triggers
the
me.
screen. I was like, what? Why will you lie to this man
Bro, that
after
was so
everything
damn
he's been through?
disrespectful. That shit hurt my fucking heart, bro. Like,
But
why you gonna lie
Naruto,
to my
e-
man's like that?
even Naruto's just like, don't lie to me. Like, I'm like, damn.
I was like, and then like it was like, what was the whole purpose of it? What was the whole purpose of it? Like,
Yeah.
what did she get out of telling him love? Like, I love you. It's like,
She wanted to be noble and keep him from going mad, hurting himself, and finding
Yeah,
Sasuke. And
basically.
he was like
but like,
literally killing himself to do it. But he
but
was like, I'm no longer doing this for you. I'm doing this for me because Sasuke needs to come the fuck back home. All
like
right,
at
that's why I'm doing this right.
And I think like at that point, even from the very beginning, which is why I felt the whole Sakura thing was useless, was that Naruto wanted to go after Sasuke anyways. Like
Yeah.
they had their relationship. They were the only two that understood each other. He wanted to go after that man regardless.
He didn't care. He was gonna keep going forever.
And that was why I felt like the whole Sakura thing was stupid because like
Mhm.
nothing came out of it.
Yeah.
Mm, But
Back to Samurai 8.
yes.
With the Nanashi stuff, like now we could talk about that chapter. It was just like such a great chapter, not only for Nanashi, which we literally only got to see him in one chapter, and I care so much about his character, the power of Kishimoto. But it, like it just made Princess Anne's character grow even more, and show more spotlight on the princesses and things like that, and how useful they are in the series. They're just not some background character. They're not like, because I'm not gonna lie, Kishimoto, like you guys were saying, like he has difficulty writing good female characters. Yes, there might be one or two in Naruto and
And
stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. Cause I was gonna hold on, let me add to that because like I like how at the beginning he handled Tsunade
Yeah.
and like the original Naruto, I felt like that was
Oh,
handled really well.
yeah, yeah,
And I think he had room with what's her name? Conan? I feel like he dropped the ball on her, but her fight with Obito was great. Like that ending was handled perfectly.
yeah.
But like you said, there has not been a strong emphasis on the female characters, and it's like almost like they're being pushed to the forefront in this new manga.
Yeah, definitely. And I really appreciate that in this new manga. It's just like really good. And I gotta say, for me personally, like the Nanashi chapter, that's the best chapter of Samurai we have got. Like, I'm a
I think that's like
person
hands
like
down.
like before, like when I first got into shonen and stuff, I cared more about the fights, but now I care more about the story that leads to the fights or the story that makes a character grow and stuff like a backstory, something like that. And that chapter was everybody I saw comments, people talk about it, they just gave it praise and for good reason. Like it was such an amazing chapter. And for some reason, thinking about it now, it just reminded me a little bit of Itachi's backstory because his backstory is messed up.
Oh,
Um, I don't know. For some reason, the Nachi reminded me of a little bit of Shisui Uchiha. If you ever, if you was a diehard Naruto fan and stuff, so it was just awesome. And Okubo's art, it just elevates everything. It just elevated that
bro,
chapter 100.
his facial expressions are fucking ridiculous, bro. Like there is so much goddamn there is so much detail in like the faces, and I gotta say, like the facial expressions are just probably like 20 minutes, but like the facial expressions are just amazing.
Yeah, and I literally thought like because I remember when we got the little that chapter where it was like Princess Anne's brother, and then it just cut off. Like it was gonna talk about her brother, and then I'm thinking, oh, Kishimoto is just gonna make him a Ronin, or he's gonna be like an outlaw or something like that, or nothing too major. And then we get that bombshell of a chapter. I was just like, what? Like Kishimoto? Like I did not expect this craziness, and we got it. Didn't we get it like the chapter? The next chapter was the big revelation or something?
Let me add to that. Do you all think that we might have an Obito situation here with Ain's brother, or do you think that's
Oh,
not possible?
bro.
Oh,
I was thinking
I'm not
that.
gonna.
I was thinking that. I was thinking that because I posted a picture on
Yeah,
my Twitter where back in like chapter 5 or something, we get that like that farmer or whatever,
yeah.
that like random drawn kid, and he has like white hair now, and I'm like, come on, come on, that has to be not. Come on, come on.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, if he comes back, I'll be so happy. Like, maybe he couldn't come back before, or earlier because maybe he
Well,
was injured or
yeah, cause
still, or but
his
it'll be
last
awesome.
goal, he was like, I want to be the perfect samurai for Anne. So
Yeah.
I mean, if he was somehow successfully able to, that'd be pretty dope. I think he
Like,
did though.
yeah, like somebody in one of my reviews I was talking about the chapter and they're like they thought that Hashimaru was the reincarnation of Nanashi, and I was like, no, because literally I don't know how old Nanashi is, maybe a year or two older than Anne, but obviously Anne and Hashimaru look almost around the same age, so that
Well, I mean,
it's
shot.
just not possible.
Okay. Mhm.
It it's just not possible, and it's just like they do have a lot of similarities to each other, but that's about it. And that's why obviously Princess Anne's bond to Hashimaru is even stronger because she sees Nanashi in him, and that's her brother and stuff. So, like the unnamed Crane Samurai, he basically said, either you have to be princess and samurai for a long time to have a strong bond like they do have now, or you have to be siblings. And since
Mhm.
which is kind of funny because somebody said Hashimaru got samurai zoned, like he
Oh,
got friend
bro,
zoned.
bro, that's fucking hilarious. I just thought about that. He just got basically brothers owned. He
Yeah.
got brothers owned.
Yeah.
Okay, so another thing I want to add, and someone pointed this out to me on Twitter, that Anne basically learned how to talk from her brother, and that just made me even more depressed
Yeah,
because
that's true. That's
she didn't talk that whole entire chapter as a child, except like maybe I think towards the end, but she didn't say like a word the entire chapter. And
the
then
other
go on.
the other thing was like he was the one that named her. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Oh, bro, that was so impactful. That was so
Yeah.
impactful, bro. Like that whole chapter 22 was just amazing. It was amazing, that chapter from start. to finish. I enjoyed the, especially like towards the end where we got that little situation where she was comparing Hachimaru and her brother together, and that was just really beautifully drawn. And that panel reminded me of Naruto when Jiraiya and the fourth Hokage were standing by him, so that was dope. Um, what? Okay, so let's get into, or is that all you had to say about the last chapter?
Oh yeah, that's all. I'm just looking at this panel somebody posted in the chat.
Mhm.
I'm trying to figure out what they were trying to say with it.
Oh yeah, that's the one I was talking about right there. That's the one I was talking about right there. The one with the farmer.
Oh, the farmer. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh wow, I actually missed this.
That was like way back in like chapter 4 or 5.
Chapter 4 or 5. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
so it could be speculation. That's the
Yeah,
Nanashi.
that's what I was thinking because Nanashi was like only samurai wear top knots. So,
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
hey,
Oh
thank you,
wow.
Aqua. Thank you, Aqua. You shedding some light out here in the chat.
Yeah, that's really awesome. That's really awesome. Okay. That's actually all I had to talk about. With the last chapter that came out of Samurai, the official translation and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, I guess next I want to ask.
Wait. I have something real quick.
Yep.
Sorry, I was on my phone. My computer crashed.
You
So you're
good?
saying this picture right now in the discussion at the bottom, this you think that is Nanashi, the guy that's just chilling there, or
Yes. Yes. Because when you go back and you look at the panel of where he looks back at Anne with the black hair when they're getting interrupted by the other students, his head has the exact same angle and shape as this guy right here. Like hairstyle and everything. It's just a different color.
hello? I'm back. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
just, let me see if I can find the Nanashi panel real quick. But while I'm looking for it, what are some of your favorite moments from Samurai so far?
Auto fight, hands down. That was my favorite. And the Ryu and Hachimaru fight. I think that whole little training episode was pretty dope.
Oh,
Um,
that training shit was fire. But go on. Light.
yeah, my favorite is the Nanashi backstory. That's my favorite out of everything we've seen. I love the Atta fight, like Moy said, that was really awesome. What else did I like? Let's see. Also the prayer, like the versus the unnamed samurai, like when both princesses were praying and stuff, and it looks
Hmm.
like which one had, could pray the hardest and stuff. That was a really cool thing there.
So,
Um
what do you think
oh
made Anne's nose bleed? Was it
okay.
just pure concentration, or?
Probably overuse of
Yeah.
her power. I think it was just like with any like sort of psionic ability type deal. I feel like if it's dealing with large amount of concentration, it was probably just her overusing her ability and just straining herself
Yeah,
in a
I
sense.
agree with Moy. Like
Okay,
I think it was too much. Like she was doing too much.
okay. But like, I posted the picture in the what's this called? In the
Yeah,
discussion.
the chat. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it.
Okay. But like, if you look at the head angle, it's kind of similar to the the guy
Now
in
in
chapter
chapter
4.
4, like that panel with the farmer, like what
It
was that
it
in
was
reference
just so
to?
rant. It was just rant. It was Hachimaru flying in the air.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, it was Hash. Oh yeah, when he was flying with Hayatawa, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, so when you were flying, and then this person's looking up with the little exclamation point right there.
Yep.
Hey, wait, what? What if the exclamation point matters? And it's just like, oh, it's surprised to see obviously a samurai flying like that.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it could
Eh,
be.
if that is Nanashi, that would be. Now I'm not gonna lie. I'd be fine if he's dead as well because his death was so impactful. But if he's
Oh yeah,
alive,
that
you
would be
know,
game changer. That'd be game changer. That'd be very interesting. But
it
so
could be he's alive, but he still can't be a samurai because he wasn't chosen by the locker ball. His luck was not good enough.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
you think
that
he's
by that locker ball,
seppuku? Oh,
by
by
that
that
locker
locker
ball.
ball.
Yeah, by that
Okay,
locker ball. Yeah, you're right. You're right. By
okay.
that locker ball. Oh man, you guys literally
And
bring up stuff.
with artificial samurai, since technically Hachimaru is both a key for the mandala and the Pandora, if some people are messing around with that technology, someone could convert him artificially into a samurai, potentially. Not saying
Because
that it's
that
possible,
that's what I'm
just on some
thinking.
madness.
That's what I'm thinking is what happened with Hachimaru and his brothers.
Yeah,
Because they were created from scratch. They're all clones. They're all similar,
yeah.
but they're all keys to this box. So, and the thing about how the world is so technologically based, you can do shit like this. So it's very possible that he could have been artificially saved and created into it. And
Mm,
that's what I was kind of thinking. Maybe they used him like as like Hachimaru's like the host or whatever, if that makes
What
sense.
if
Could be.
what?
Could be.
Well, not clones. What if the Hashimaru's brothers? Because obviously they say like Hashimaru's the eighth, he's not needed, all this stuff. But what if his brothers literally like have no emotions? Like they're like supposed to be these perfect beings and stuff, but because of that,
That's what
like
that's
in
what I'm thinking.
like
That's
I
what I'm
could see that later on in battle affecting them, where they're having no emotions makes them lose in battle to Hashimaru or something. Like that would be
I
really
see them
interesting.
like a seven deadly sin kind of deal where they're like each kind of have like a different personality trait.
Oh,
One
yo.
like Ikaku being like the cold, harsh older brother one, and then each of them kind of be
have their own like
a little
different
goofy.
personalities.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean they are all clones, but I feel like even though they are all the same, they would be treated differently. You know what I'm saying? Like the number one would always be the strongest and be like, I'm the boss, and they go down the chain, you know?
Yeah,
Because Hachimaru is pretty goofy, and technically he is a clone of all of them, and he just because he was raised differently, he acts differently. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
okay. I like that. I like that. Well, and yeah, like maybe they could all have different personalities, and it's kind of been shown that Ata's only been with Ikaku for now. So do y'all think that's like a Daruma Hachimaru parallel?
Oh, wait. The thing is, like you said, I think I don't know the panel, but I think the other brothers were like in the background or something.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
Yeah, they were in
they
the
were in the background.
background, but
They don't
Ada
seem
was
Ikaku,
only really interacting with Ikaku like
yeah,
101, kind of like he kind of made himself the
the
leader of the group.
yeah, the figure since he was
Yeah,
the firstborn technically type of thing.
Ikaku
yeah.
might be
Whereas
the
the other
strongest
ones
of
are
the
kind of in the back.
brothers too.
Oh, I definitely got him being strong. I think he's like Hachimaru.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Ata says that they all have a strong affinity with their key holders. So, do you think like they have princesses too?
I think
Ooh.
they may just share like Neri, like they may have like share the princess he uses, or like may have a pseudo princess that they manufactured to get their power out. Because I mean, like they weren't. It's not like they were created by a locker ball that was like anointed by like a princess type deal, like how
Mm,
like Anne was, like how Anne found hers, and then hers would lead her to her like fated print like samurai type deal. They were just like manufactured. So there may be something there. Not to say that there isn't, but like as far as we know, like I don't think I don't think finding a princess is as common as it seems. Because I mean, like Ryu is a samurai, he doesn't have a princess, so I mean,
yeah. W-
Oh, we
what?
don't know if he does have a princess or not.
Tatsuga could be a
Yeah,
dude.
I'm
I mean, it
really
could be a
thinking
chick.
Katsuga's a chick. I'm really thinking
Yeah.
Katsuga's a chick, bro.
Oh, what if he is? That'd be crazy.
I'm like, I'm okay with it, but it's like, it's
And
just
me
like how
too.
he acts and like goes about himself. It's like he doesn't do any fighting.
Yeah,
Overcompensates though. but overcompensates though when it comes to the chicks. Like, hey, and come over here, and
He
it's like,
does.
chill out, bro. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Not even Brock. Not even Brock was that bad.
Bro, Katsuga's fucking hilarious,
Yeah,
bro.
and
Like, I
because
like how he's trying to pull
Katsuga,
in on the side. That I find
like
it
we don't know
pretty
his
hilarious.
backstory either. Like it looks like because I think there was a chapter he was like, there's some things best left to forget or something
Yeah.
along those lines.
Oh, you know
So
it's gonna be
something probably
traumatic.
would happen.
Oh, you know it's
Yeah.
gonna be traumatic.
Yeah, Hashimaru has this strong gravitational pull. That's why his princess came to him so easily. And that's the thing. Obviously, like Moy said way earlier in the stream, like Dragon Ball Z inspires so many shonens where the Goku figure, the Goku character type, where he attracts people to him, even enemies and stuff, to become friends and things like that. I'm
Yeah.
not saying Ata's gonna become Hashimaru's friend, but you know, just characters gravitate towards that one character because they,
Mhm.
they just have that thing in them that makes them likable and stuff. So Ashimaru
Okay.
is definitely one of those characters there.
So what do you guys think is the gravitational force? Because it's been mentioned it's been mentioned a lot in the manga. Daruma has mentioned it quite a few times. And where do you think this will apply in the future? Because I did a ability video
Yeah.
and and
I think it's gonna be mostly for the H particles. Sorry to
the H
cut you off,
particles.
but
Oh no, you good.
yeah, like the gravitational pull is probably just their version of the Force from Star Wars. Because I
Mhm.
mean, like that's kind of how the Force operated. Like it was in all living things, and like the Jedi were just very skilled at manipulating the Force. Like even
Okay.
though they went first, like the Metachlorians, kind of blah 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 blah. But I mean, like all I feel like all the gravitational force is going to let them do is control the H particles or various other like I guess the H particles could be like the Higgs boson or the God particle in
Mhm.
molecules now, which allows them to have that subtle like matter manipulation ability that they do have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing. Because like they're able to use that along with their samurai soul to create new technologies as like using it as a fuel source in a way. So like I just feel like that just the gravitational pull just allows them just to have greater control over that like matter manipulation type deal.
Okay. Okay. I like that. I like that. You got anything like?
I'm not gonna lie to you. You gotta give me a little brief overview. What was that again?
What was that?
Give me a brief summary of what the gravitational thing was again.
So Daruma said in like when he first met Dr. Furuta that Hachimaru
Yeah.
had a strong gravity, and that is what pulled him to meet Hachimaru. And,
Oh, okay, okay.
and he talks about I think in like chapter 15 or 16 somewhere in there where he's like where he's saying that your gravitational pull is so strong that it attracted Anne, Daruma, and
Oh yeah,
Atsumi and stuff like
oh
that.
yeah, because he was like in another chapter. He was like it'll even attract like obviously the key holders, but it'll attract enemies as well. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and then it goes further to talk about like
Hello? Oh, Moy?
Yeah, more. We can't hear you. I think you got to reconnect your mic or something. I don't know what
I
is
happened.
think you
my
cut out.
can you all hear me?
Yeah, turn it
All
up
right,
a
hold
little
on,
bit.
all right, hold on real quick. Hold on real quick.
All right, gravitational thing. I agree with you guys on that matter. I haven't dove too deep into that. What like I'm shocked now. Well, it's way earlier in the stream when you guys were talking about that vampire sword. I'm like,
Mhm.
got about because you guys are right. Like we haven't seen that blade at all after that
Yeah.
chapter.
So it's like, did Daruma destroy it, or like, is it still there? Cause it seemed very important, like
Yeah.
how they were making a big deal about it. Cause I remember when I was rereading, like Hachimaru's dad, Furuta, was saying like, oh, you have a handle bone that can handle the vampire sword. So it's like I don't know what that was about.
What if it's like you guys said, like the name implies, vampire sucker? Like it actually sucks samurai souls. Like it just, it's like
Oh, bro, that'd be disgusting.
like it'd be like Itachi's blade from Naruto, where in Susanoo he had like this legend, the
The
Tutsuka blade, something like
Tatamaki,
that.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
It absorbs like something like that. That would be insane, and maybe a little bit too broken. So maybe, like you
it was kind of
said, maybe
broken.
Dharma has it for safekeeping. Like it shouldn't be used. Like this thing,
This
it
thing's
shouldn't
broken.
just be,
Okay, okay.
because it will be literally a sword, a samurai soul sword that. Obviously, you could kill a samurai. I think you got to destroy the core, or whatever. But
Mhm.
with this, like, you could stab them somewhere. It just drains their soul, samurai soul sword, or whatever it is. They're dead, like, basically.
Okay, that's interesting. So, like, because
Yeah.
I've always wanted, because like I think they said in chapter one that the key was like it acted like their base, I guess, for like the rest of the way their body works and whatnot. But it
Yeah.
didn't really explain like how the samurai soul works, and that's
Oh,
what
that-
interests me because Otto was able to create a freaking clone. So it's like,
oh, that is true. What if this is the case? What if okay, depending, okay, different samurais could samurai souls different, and they have
mm,
different attributes depending on the person. Not every, maybe not too not every what if every samurai soul sword is different because of the samurai soul? Like obviously Daruma's samurai soul sword, it looks just like Hashimaru. It doesn't look anything special, but what
yeah,
if they're an
like different ones
attribute?
out there. Okay, that'd be
Definitely
interesting.
something like that. Because even Ryu, like his samurai soul sword, like you could do so many things with it, like turn
Oh,
into
bro.
different things and things like that.
Like I like how he like shape shifts like the two samurai souls and like they're still sharp and like it's just I don't
Yeah.
know what the hell Ryu has got packing, alright, but dude is a monster. So how do you
Yeah.
think well I guess we can get towards wrapping it up. 'Cause I'm a little tired myself. I'm a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
tired.
me too.
But I guess we can end it off on what would you say you're most looking forward to in the future? And what do you say to anyone that hasn't read Samurai yet?
All right. Moikun, you should rejoin so you could,
Yeah. If he makes it back, he makes
Um.
it
be-
back. But
okay, so, what I'm most looking forward to, right,
hmm
is one. I want this series to at least be 15, not even 15, like 20 to 25 volumes at least, um, or even more. I'll read this as long as it keeps obviously releasing, and to just maybe after this tournament arc, like for the next key holder and stuff like that, maybe slow down it or pacing a
slow down
little
the
bit.
pacing.
Like because we saw the Ryu versus Hashimaru training thing in the ship and stuff, but I would have liked, like, actually more training and things like that besides just like one-on-one Ryu versus Hashimaru, maybe an all-inclusive training, Dharma, Ryu, Hashimaru all together fighting all together and things like that. Like, because I like things like that when Goku was going to Namek and stuff. Like he was training in
The
that ship that Bulma made, Capsule Corp made, and stuff
yeah.
like that with the gravity and things. I definitely want to see in the future. If it's not training, then for the next key holder, if they go to another planet, because obviously they're gonna go to another planet, like another planet, actually explore the planet. Like, I know Dharma, they made a pit stop somewhere else to get some supplies, but I would have liked to see more of the planet, the people, maybe interact with some locals, things like that, maybe
Okay.
going a little side quest, side mission, even something goofy, like maybe, and like in Naruto and Obito, where you help out old ladies cross the street and stuff, be late to
hmm
missions, like maybe
Okay.
Hashimaru talks to somebody and then he goes on a little side quest for maybe not too long, like maybe 1 or 2 chapters, maybe helping some kids, some orphans stop getting bullied, something like that. Like that would be fun, definitely to
Mhm.
see. Like don't rush things, like don't make the pacing way too fast, because like that's what I was saying earlier, like pacing is way too fast, and you
Yeah.
when you read a chapter you could feel that the pacing is like, okay, this is
It's
a
booming.
little bit
Yeah,
too
it's booming.
fast.
Mhm.
I just want moderate pacing. I don't want nothing super slow, because there were some chapters that were super slow as well. The pacing, I
Yeah,
was like, man,
definitely the beginning was like super
yeah,
slow, but I felt like it was necessary because
mm,
now he can kind of go now since he's kind of set up everything, he can kind of
yeah,
go like, well, you already know what a samurai soul is, so let's just, talk about go a little bit more in depth with it, or you already know what a key is, let's just go more in depth with it. So
yeah,
I think the whole point of the slow beginning was so that like he could get all the complicated formalities out of the way.
yeah,
And like for me personally, I'm a big lore and world building, and so like I like the slow stuff. Um,
yeah,
and that's just like recently over time. Like I used to be a huge fight heavy kind of guy, but I feel
yeah,
like the journey is more important than like not more important. Like the fight still has to be good, but as long as like the journey getting to the fight is good, like I'll be happy.
yeah. Ace Suwako said he's looking for most forward to seeing armies of samurai fighting space wars all in their different animal holders. That would be amazing. Like some giant last battle, all the samurais gather together to fight Kala and defeat his evil once and for all.
Oh, bro, I
That would
like
be
that.
awesome.
Oh, I'd like that. I'd like that. Oh, I can't wait for. We're gonna get Samurai Wars. Kishi's just waiting to put that out there,
Yeah,
bro. Like
Yeah,
I'm
we're
that
gonna
ready.
that
see
gotta
a
be like
battle
the
between the different schools because like that's something that we've yet to see. Like
Oh, bro,
Dharma was just talking about how like all the different fighting styles are programs and whatnot, and like the amount of like we just saw what 1,500 samurai just go out in this tournament here. So I
yeah,
mean they're already just like a decent amount ready to fight. And I posted a little like an image before above about like the samurai like the gravitational pull and the H particles and stuff about
yeah,
how like it's I guess somewhat of how it's used when Dharma was explaining after they used like the Fang to blow up the moon.
mm-hmm.
But one thing that I am looking forward to the series is a little more information on how the different schools operate, I guess, what their abilities actually do, and a little bit more about Kala's, I guess, sect of samurais and how they went about creating their fighting style because that one is completely unique to I guess, the original four because
Mm-hmm.
they weren't originally created by Kala. Kala, the samurai, the underling, created their own fighting style to usurp the other four. So that is something that I'm looking for. And what we were talking about earlier, the corrupted samurai soul. That is something that I really need to know.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh, well,
And
oh, go on, like.
Kala was he was Akala's underling, right? Or like right hand man or something like that, right?
Yeah, there were like there was Akala, and then they had four, I guess, underlings, and then there were like four
Disciples.
fighting styles. Yeah, well, Kala was
Disciples.
wasn't
Yeah.
Kala one of the four? Or were
I think
they
it was. I
just
think there was like. I think he didn't join a school, if I remember correctly.
well?
Like his whole purpose was to go against them.
In the
At
beginning, I
least that's
think
what I read.
Kala he was spreading like Akala's message, and talking about his life, basically like preaching about Akala, the god of war, and things like
He
that.
was preaching the good word of a Colin.
Yeah, basically that's what he was doing. And I don't know what happened. I think later on he was just like, I'm gonna make my own thing. I want to change the world. I'm gonna destroy it and renew it, something like that. He's powerful too. Like I think there was a chapter he was like going around destroying planets like it was nothing. So I'm like, damn.
Oh, dude, these guys are gonna be ridiculous. Oh my god, bro. Like the power
That's why.
scaling. I gotta say the power scaling is like something I'm most excited to look forward to because it's like you've already given us three people that's capable of destroying a planet.
Yeah.
Ata, the sponsor, and the rumors. So it's like, where's the power
Yeah.
scaling gonna end?
I just think like towards the end, like I even made a video. I was like, Hashimaru's gonna be galaxy level. Like, imagine the power to destroy a galaxy.
Oh, I
That's be
watched that.
crazy.
I watched that. That was a really good video, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's pretty much it. Well, let me hit on what I would be excited about. I'm most looking forward to, I guess, I want to know why Fudo Mio decided to create the samurai. That's like one of my biggest, the biggest things that I'm questioning about. We're probably not gonna get that till end of series, probably, but it's like,
Mhm.
what the hell was the purpose of creating these basically unstoppable beings? So
It's
like,
true. Like, I wonder who was the first samurai. Was it Akala
yeah,
or
I
somebody
think,
else?
well, I think so. I think he said that he gave birth to all samurai. So
The thing is, there, in the Nanashi chapter, there was a statue of another god of war.
yeah.
So that's interesting. So there's multiple god of wars from the past. So that's really cool to me.
Oh man, I'm just so excited about this world build. But this was like a really great stream. We gotta do this again.
Yeah,
I,
definitely. Maybe
I'm thinking
10,
like
20 more chapters from now.
yeah, I'm
Who
thinking
knows?
like towards the end of the year probably.
Yeah.
Definitely probably towards the end of the year. But you guys, that's Moy Kun. You know he's dope. He's been helping me with my Discord. Um, he's a web developer. Y'all go follow him. He's dope. And y'all go follow Light Films. I just recently got into him and his videos, but he's really detailed and informative, and he's been covering a lot of the top series that's going on, like My Hero and Black Clover. So y'all go check that out. Anything y'all want to say before I end it?
I want to say thanks for having me. It was great actually being in the stream talking to you and Moikun. Like, it was an awesome stream. And you actually especially opened my eyes to more elements in Samurai 8 I was not thinking of. Like, it's just awesome. It's just awesome, especially to see what a strong and dedicated community Samurai 8 has. And it's just cool that there's so many great fans. No matter like the criticisms and stuff of the series, I just think this series, it's amazing, and that Kishimoto is doing a great job. So thanks again for having me.
Of course, of course. Moy.
I like to say, I'm like, thank you for having me on here. It was nice meeting you, Life Films. You're a pretty chill guy. It was good to have a nice discussion about this because like we were able to bounce ideas off each other and find some new things, and it was a wonderful experience. I am looking forward to doing something like this similar in the future. So I am trying to make some videos, hopefully soon. So hopefully the next time we're here, I'll be able to plug myself, and be like, yo, check out my YouTube, you know. But hey,
Hey,
it
dude,
was it
are
was
you gonna
fun.
are you gonna be doing Samurai content?
Oh yeah, Samurai 8, and then depending on how things go, I may, if I can catch up on a few other series, I may try to do those as well. I have been looking into Jujutsu Kaisen,
Oh, bro,
so
Jujutsu Kaisen is freaking fire, bro. Oh my
yeah.
Yeah.
god, bro. Oh my god, that dude, I can't even think of his name, but not Gojo. The guy that
Fuji?
the guy that we just got his backstory on why he became a villain.
Oh, I actually am not caught up. I'm like two, three
Okay, my bad,
chapters
my bad,
behind.
my bad.
It's all
Um,
good.
oh, dude, right, the flashback, great, fantastic, bro. Oh my god, you're in for some heat.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched Spy X Fam? I mean, read Spy X Family?
The only reason I haven't read it is because I heard it's amazing, and I literally want more chapters to be released before I bench read. I
Okay,
want to bench read it.
yeah, I read the first chapter and it was like really good and really just really well done and just cute. One question before I do end it.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the pacing for Samurai 8 and how it's like kind of fast paced. Do you guys think that is like a new issue in Shonen Jump that's come up where series have to kind of force material, I guess, and rush things to make the story interesting? Do you feel
I
Yes
like
think
and
it
no.
is.
well
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Just
Uh,
because like with any mainstream like piece of art, like say like hip hop, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, like you kind of get like like it kind of gets into the problem how disco was, where it's kind of controlled by the magazine, so like only the hot meat like hot pieces of work will only show.
Yeah.
And even though that there's something that is good and has potential and it's slower, it doesn't get as much out. Good to get a lot of like it's you do series out, you know,
Yeah.
like it's yes, but you can get if it's in like smaller bits and the series is done faster, then you get more, but at the same time you do depreciate in quality of the manga in the series. Like we don't get as many like with that we probably won't get a series as long like that anytime soon. They may end up ending a little bit sooner, you, you know, you never know. I think it is bad at the same time just because like yeah it causes something to get
I agree with you. As the '90s, like when One Piece and stuff, I obviously didn't check out One. Started off slow. A lot of like now like started off slow, and if it came out now, it'll probably get axed because people are very impatient. They just want, oh, I want something crazy to happen right away. I want this to happen right away.
Mhm.
Like some people don't like the build up to this stuff. Like you know, some series like you might check out the manga like 10 chapters. You're like, damn, this is like slow and boring. But after that, like it just picks up, and you know the thing with the like everybody's saying was with modern shonen jump, it's just like you have to make a series interesting right away. You got to
Yeah.
captivate the audience right away, because if you don't, if the sales, not even sales, like if the popular, it's based on popularity when you
Yeah.
first like the first
well, we have to think
couple
about it like
chapters.
this as well. Like One Piece, it took like what 25 years to get where it's at now, and shit's just now popping off and getting actiony. So if you're like a series that's just coming out, you have to compete with something that's been going on for that many years and is allowed to just pop off for as many chapters as they want. Whereas like you're new and you're like, man, this is a lot of hype going over here to this Wano arc. I really
Yeah,
want my
definitely.
series to be cool.
Mhm.
So I gotta be all right. Dragon Flame Arc, Chapter 1. The sun explodes. All right, we're good.
Oh yeah, talking about One Piece, obviously because the stream is about to end. Basically, Kimetsu no Yaiba beat One Piece in manga sales. I think it was this week, so that just shocked me. But obviously, before One Piece has been beaten in manga sales. I think Attack on Titan back in 2015, 16, whenever the first season came out, the manga sales actually surpassed One Piece, and that's a big accomplishment in itself. I just think when it happens, it's really rare for any manga to surpass One Piece in manga sales, even for a week. So yeah, congrats to Kimetsu no Yaiba, K
Yeah.
Demon Slayer for that.
Shouts out to Demon Slayer. Shouts out to Demon Slayer. But
That's all I wanted to say.
all right. Well, it was good chatting with you guys. I'll see y'all next time.
All right.
Peace.
See